Are you struggling to find something to do now that we're going through the writers and actors strikes? Too Opinionated has you covered. 625 and counting episodes of the best actors, musicians, writers, and everybody involved in the entertainment universe. Go to MeisterCon Pod on YouTube and subscribe, and you'll never miss an episode. Thank you guys for your support. Until next time, bye, everybody. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Too Opinionated. So excited today. I've got actress Kimberly Sue Murray with me. So welcome, Kimberly.
Hi, thanks for having me.
I put so much pressure on myself to get the name right.
Well, you did great. And then
here we are.
Yeah. Do you find that my name, because I'm French Canadian, but I get often that my name is very very Southern.
It is Southern. Like you would fit just fine in West Virginia.
Kimberly Sue. It's got a bit of a
Yeah.
And my sister is Ashley Ann.
Is she really?
Yeah, and my brother is Jonathan George.
Are you sure you weren't born in the South?
No, not at all. But
was your parents born in the South?
No. So hyphenated names are a thing in Quebec. And my dad's an Anglophone. So my mom, who's French Canadian, was like, I'm going to, hyphenate English names without knowing that it was very, very Southern sounding.
Oh, it really is.
Yeah.
Like if you came to West Virginia, people would just assume you were from here.
I love that. Yeah. I cannot wait to visit.
You might have to work on this accent.
What?
You might have to work on this accent a little bit.
Okay, that's okay. One thing at a time. I'll hire my dialect coach.
I can help if you need some pointers.
I mean, everyone has an accent, right? But your accent to me is I love that.
Oh,
I'm probably gonna hit you up for a project in the future and be like, okay, so I want to do your accent.
See, I can help with that.
Yeah.
I always knew I had an accent, but I didn't realize how thick or strong it was until I started doing this podcast. And then, a lot of people were like, where are you from?
It's a very friendly and inviting accent.
It's got a little bit of a drawl, but not
a little bit.
Not well, okay, maybe a large Southern drawl. See, when I talk to you though, I can't pick up an accent. It just seems like you're talking to me. I don't really hear an accent.
Well, because I did years and years of standardization to sound as flat as I could. We call it the standard American accent, but I used to have a very thick French Canadian accent. I talked like a real Quebecer.
Oh, I like
that. My sister talks like this.
Oh, I like that. The next time, see, I'm already going to set up our next interview.
Right.
The next time we'll come and we'll do each other's accents.
Oh, I love that.
Interview.
Oh my God. It's going to be like those accent tags.
Yeah, but I'll have to practice.
Okay.
I'll need some practice time ahead of time. I can't just switch into an accent.
Well, we actors, we get paid to try our best.
Yeah, I know. And I think actors are so underappreciated for how hard that they have to work and how hard the job actually is.
Yeah, we work hard, but we play harder.
Okay. So
yeah.
That's all right. That's a good
trade-off. I don't really work for a living. I feel like I mostly just hang out.
Well, it's because you get to pretend.
I get to pretend. It's the most fun. Great. It's like dress up every day. Well, I mean, not every day when I'm working. When there isn't a strike.
I've only got the chance to act one time, and it was kind of accidental, but I had a director that was trying to get me to change how I was saying something.
Mm-hmm.
And it just wasn't taking. I kept trying it different ways and stuff, and she's like, they're all exactly the same.
You have to develop your ear for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I first
it's different.
Years ago, I couldn't hear it, and now I can pick up. But I still, can't tell if someone's British or Australian. They just sound the same to me.
Yeah. I just finally told her, I was like, yeah, but this take, I was thinking that I was hungry. And,
hey,
yeah,
that is
didn't
some
work.
great emotional, like, interior work. Yeah, that's great.
I was like, it's very nuanced. You're just not hearing it. But no. Well, Kim, I'm so happy that you came on the show. I've been a fan of yours for a while. It's surprising. You've been doing this for a little while. No,
what have you seen? I don't want to put you on the spot.
Well, so
I
think I always go through that exercise. What have I seen this actor or actress in? So the earliest one that I can remember, this may not be the earliest one you did, but the earliest one I can remember was Killjoys.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm nerdy.
That's okay. I'm nerdy too. I love that stuff.
That's a good show.
Yeah,
it was a good show.
I know. Yeah.
I mean, I know you did Shadowhunters. You were great in that. I liked you on Designated Survivor. You had an episode of that.
My little episode, yeah. I just went and argued with people. It's great.
And then the one I'm going to bring up, because I'll give you a hint and see if you can guess which one I'm going to bring up. So in the 90s, I was a comic book store owner.
I know. Titans.
Yeah, of course. You were Lady Vic.
Yes, I was Lady Vic. Wow. That's great.
And my son, who does the podcast with me, does all the editing for me. I asked him, and he didn't know. He didn't have an answer. But when I told him that you voiced Gamora on the Guardians video game, he totally knew because he just finished playing that one.
Oh my God, that's great.
Yeah, he told me to ask you if you knew if there's going to be a sequel.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. That's
why I told him.
We don't know these things. They don't tell us until they're ready to shoot, basically. Yeah.
He said you made a good Gamora.
But I would love to do a sequel.
Yeah.
Because that was like the most fun I've ever had on set and the most freedom, because as a woman, I find the pressure of looking a certain way on camera is just freaking brutal.
Yeah,
you get that, right?
Yeah, because I watch my wife all the time, and what she has to go through is much more than I'm going through to get ready.
Yeah, it's honestly it's not sustainable, and so the freedom I felt working on a video game where I got to act, it was a full performance, so it was my voice, my full body, and then my face.
Yeah.
The freedom I felt of like just being in this like black suit with the sensors, and like didn't matter what I looked like, how tired I was, or how like covered in zits I was, or it was and it's like if theater and film had a baby, and I just had like, it was like and also, listen, we had the best writing team. These guys like really captured the essence of each character and the jokes. Like we had like every time we would go in to shoot, we'd have like, if it was a cinematic scene, so when we were shooting like in-game scenes, we would get 200 pages. And when it was just voice, like the banter in between cinematic scenes, we'd get 800 pages.
That sounds like pages. A lot.
It's a lot. But the thing is, when you're with a character for so long, it was like three years for me, and then even longer for the guys. You just know the character, so you can just do it and have fun, and the humor that they captured, like, it was so good. We laughed a lot.
Well, Brett said that it was one of his favorite video games. It was really well written,
and it's funny. So it's very much like the movie, the movies, but it also had so much depth. We really got to explore like the characters' backstories, which they don't really have time to do in the movies. So
I was going to ask you, do they fill in all the backstory from the comic books? Just for you?
Yeah, like they gave us, obviously very inspired by the comics. But we had our own takes. They had some freedom, and that was great because they didn't want to make a video game based on the movies. They wanted it to be closer to the comics and different,
Yeah,
so,
I love it.
I love it too. It was great. It was a lot of fun.
I'm actually a fan either way because I'm very territorial about the comics, because
I understand.
that was my background. But I like it when there's different versions. That doesn't upset me as long as they're good versions.
Only good versions.
Only good versions.
I think we did a good version. Yeah.
Yeah, he agreed. He said it was.
That's great. Well, tell him I say thank you.
Yeah, I will. So, do you dress up as Gamora on Halloween?
I would like to.
I think you need to.
I think, but yeah, I always have these like elaborate plans for Halloween, and then I get closer to Halloween and I lose steam.
Yes, I understand.
And then yeah.
So I did. See, I hate. I'm one of those. I hate dressing up.
Okay.
I'm too introverted. I get shy. I feel, like everybody's looking at me. Just dumb stuff. So
but the thing is, I'm like that too. I'm an introvert, and as much as I love dressing up for a living, I don't want to act on my day off. Like, I'm very much like a homebody. I want to see my friends. I want to read a book.
It's surprising how many actors are introverts. That I wasn't expecting that.
Well, because people think that because we're performers and we're social, that makes us extroverts. But the truth is, it's how you recharge your batteries. So I always thought I was an extrovert, but I was always exhausted. And
that's exactly how I feel.
This amazing book, I think it's called Introverts, Extroverts, and it really explained that being an introvert, it has to do with like how you recharge your batteries, your energy. And as much as I love socializing and going out and like being on set, it exhausts me. It's exhausting. Like, I feel like it's like a full body workout. And so when I get home, I need to take care of myself, and I need to do a lot of like self-care and like just resetting and zenning out. And like, I love my own company. I love being alone.
Yeah. See, I'm the exact same way, which is the exact opposite of how my wife is. She's very extroverted, type A. So we had to figure out early on in our relationship that we needed time apart.
Yeah.
For her, it's so she doesn't just get bored to tears, because my recharging is very quiet. I'm watching TV or I'm reading, and that's not her. She's active. She's got to be active. So when we need those times,
my sister, I just watch her go, and I'm like, watching you is exhausting.
Yes.
She is a social butterfly, but it fuels her, But I love people, and don't get me wrong, I love what I do, and it's just a matter of like managing my energy.
That's right. See, I'm the same way. I love people, but even doing this podcast, by the end, especially if I'm doing 2 or 3 in a row, I need some downtime.
Yeah.
It's like going to the gym.
Yeah.
And which sounds stupid, but that really is how it feels. I'm tired afterwards.
Yeah. No, I listen.
Please feel sorry for me.
No, we can feel sorry for each other. I'm gonna need a nap after this.
That's right. That's right. So okay, so the Halloween stuff.
Yes. So Halloween.
I got around. The not liking to dress up. Like 20 years ago, I bought like a replica of Johnny from Cobra Kai, his costume. The gi.
Yeah.
It says Johnny on the thing, and it's like legit. And so
listen,
I gotta go somewhere, I wear that.
Halloween, and I did most of my life. Like, as a kid, I did it religiously throughout my 20s. I think it's just in my 30s, I'm just like,
you're fully grown now. I much
prefer handing out candy. But listen, here's a fun story for my commitment of Halloween costume. About 10 years ago, I was living in Montreal, and my brother, he called me up and he's like, okay, well, I'm going to this party and there's a costume contest. I want to win it. Now, I love a good challenge. My brother never asks for anything. And he comes to me because I'm the actor. He's a surgeon. So I was like, okay, we're going to do Avatar. And he's like, oh, come on, Kim. Like, it's in theaters now. Like, it's, it's so lame. I was like, no, we're going to do Avatar from scratch. So I spent a few days gathering up my materials. I braided this black wig I found. I made him a custom choker with beads. I made him
that's amazing,
like a rag skirt. And then I painted every inch of his body, excluding his junk, because he's my brother. I wouldn't go there, But I painted him, and I basically taught him how to walk and stand and cooey like freaking avatars. And he went to his party. He called me at 2 a.m. drunk as hell, saying, I fucking won. Pardon my French. I won. I'm going. It's like a trip down south. So he won, and he went on a trip.
Did you feel like you had won?
I felt like I had won, but he told me originally, he's like, oh, the main prize is like a trip for 2 down south. And so I was like, I'm
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Did he take you?
Well, the thing is, it was not that. It was kind of like a beer competition. So it was like, I don't know, Coors Light or something. And so it was actually to win a spot on the Coors Light trip. There was no +1. So he was like, yeah, he's like, but there's no +1. I get to go on my own. And I was like, oh, still.
Who does a contest? Like, as a company, who puts out a contest where you don't allow somebody to take a guest?
Well, the idea is that they had a series of contests, a winner for each contest, and there was like a group of 20 dudes who like beer going down south.
I guess you make friends.
Yeah, but you know what? I actually don't remember how the trip went, so I need to ask him. I need to circle back and be like,
I feel like we need an end to the story.
Did you have fun?
Yes.
Was it worth the trouble? Because it took me like 4 hours.
Did you make friends? That's what I want to know.
That's what we want to know. I'll follow up with you. I'll let you know.
Yeah, you got to let me know. That is a good story, though.
I think it's a good story.
Have you ever got to play a surgeon in something?
No. I played a doctor without. It was just like a flashback where it was implied that I was a doctor. I've played a nurse on Kim's Convenience. My sister's a nurse.
Oh, okay. Okay. But how did you avoid the medical field?
I was the black sheep of the family. I was the black sheep, and that's okay. I'm a bit of a rebel. I like to go the other way.
Yeah, well, I think that's okay. Every family has one. Oh,
yeah. But it turned out it's okay though, because I like to tease my brother. He finished his schooling, his fellowship last year. So he's very new in his career, and he had to get incorporated. And I was like, well, if you need any help or questions, I've been doing this for a long time. I have my own business. I make way more money than you do. It took 2 months, and he's already made more than me. But
that's okay. The way it goes.
And he's a surgeon.
Yeah.
What can I do? But I feel like I'm not there in my career yet. Like, no one's gonna trust me with like a badge yet, or like.
No. See, I could see you playing like small town deputy.
Okay.
Maybe you could practice your Southern accent playing a small town deputy in like a Southern town.
I would love that. I like small town stories because I'm from a small town. I think there's a lot of gossip and a lot of drama.
Lots of drama. I don't know if like outside people would think it's drama. They might think it's just ridiculous. But when you're in it in a small town, it's drama.
I think it's the best kind of drama. When everyone knows everyone.
You can't hide.
What I'm talking about.
Yeah, you can't hide. Yeah, there was mine was so small when I was growing up. There was probably like 300 or 400 people in it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'm in a small town now, but there's a few thousand at least.
Okay. Yeah. My town, I I think we were 2000.
That's still pretty small.
But my town was like on the outskirts of that town.
Okay.
So yeah. And then just to give you an idea, so it's a French community, right? So there's a high school, there's a French high school, and we call it the English sector. God, it sounds like a prison. The English sector. I was teased for being a squarehead. And in my graduating class, there was 4 of us, and 2 of them were my cousins.
Your graduating class was 4?
4 people, and 2 of them were my cousins.
That's like my dad. His graduating class was in the teens, and I thought that was the smallest I'd ever heard.
Yeah.
So,
and like,
your family made up 75% of the graduating class.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And you know, and at the time I wanted out. I was like begging my parents to like send me to a private school in the city. I was like, get me out of here. But now in hindsight, I was like, no, that was pretty neat. It's pretty neat. But you know, I did, you know, I was a good student. You know, I wanted to keep my option. I knew I wanted to be an actor, but I wanted to keep my options open. So I did like advanced maths and sciences, but the teachers couldn't teach it. They didn't have the qualifications. So I actually did my math and sciences online at lunch.
That's amazing. Well,
and
so of these 4 people,
because I didn't end up using any of that stuff.
Well, none of us have.
And now I can't do math like to save my life.
What if you have to play a mathematician at some point? Then
I will fake it.
Yeah.
I will fake it. I mean, like in Trader, it's all about the stock market. And I know that it looks like I know what I'm doing, but I do not. I got like Corey, the director, gave me a crash course on the stock market. And I mean, I did my best to understand like the very basics, like at least what was happening in the scene.
That's
like,
right.
Am I winning or losing? But woof, I am not.
Well, you got to know when to cheer or when to, you know, cuss.
But yeah, but I like leaned on him heavily to guide me. I was like, okay, this is good. Like on the winning scale, how much am I winning here? Yeah.
Okay, so we got to talk about Trader, but I have to
Yes.
know who was the valedictorian out of your class of 4?
Me.
Did you hold it over your cousin?
I was like top student of my school. Like they gave me the general's award for grades or something. I don't know. They gave me some kind of medal.
What was your school mascot?
We did not have that. There's no budget for a school mascot.
Oh, no budget. Okay.
Yeah, no, there's none of that stuff. My high school experience was like the opposite of what you see in movies. So like no cheerleaders, no like football or soccer or basket, none of that stuff. No, I mean, there was a little bit of theater, but like barely. It was just go to school, be bully or be bullied. And like, there was like you were either a hockey player or a figure skater. And then you were
That's a rule in Canada. That's a rule.
Yeah. And then either you're into drugs and having babies that, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Are you sure you didn't grow up in West Virginia? Because this sounds
does it sound familiar? Yeah. Yeah. But so I was like a lifeguard. I was into sports, you know. I mean, I was into arts, but there were no opportunities for artistic kids. So I did a lot of sports.
How did you get into acting?
Well, I'm very stubborn. And so when I was 9 years old, I've always been a performer, like into dancing and figure skating and like, you know, very performative.
Yeah.
You know.
You're demonstrative.
Yes. Yes. Quite expressive, dramatic. So when I was 9, my cousin was like, oh, you know, the people we see on TV, they're actors. Like you can actually I don't even know how we started talking about this, but she told me that you can go to school and learn to be an actor and then have a career. And like, it was like a light bulb moment. And that was it. Okay. I was like, I'm going to be a Hollywood actress.
So did you go to college and that's where you like started doing theater and stuff?
Well, I did like, but after that, it was like chasing of the opportunities. And so I would go to like an open casting call that I would see, like I would read in a newspaper that there was an open casting call for this TV show in Quebec,
Mhm.
in French, 8 hours away. And I would, bless my mom, would drive me
Oh, that's good
um
parenting.
8 hours. And then I was such a nervous wreck. There was one time I got sick, and so I was like puking all night. And my mom at 5:30 in the morning lined up with my baby sister because it was an open casting call. It was like first come, first serve. So she lined up until I was done puking. And then I met up with him, did the audition, and then we drove back home.
Did you get the job?
I did not. And I'm pretty sure there was a slap in the scene, and I'm pretty sure I actually slapped the actor I was reading with, which is like, you
That's a
don't do
no-no.
that. No,
Yeah.
that's a big no-no. So I don't remember if they gave me permission or if I gave myself permission. Anyway.
I'm guessing from the
opportunity.
story you may have given yourself permission.
Yeah. I didn't know any better.
So at that time, did your mom say, have you thought about healthcare?
No, not what she thought it was a phase, but I didn't know this until like a couple of years ago when she was visiting in Toronto. We're sitting in the park and she's like, I always thought it was a phase that you grow out of. And I'm like, what? Because for me, I was such a stubborn kid. Like I had one focus in life. I had one goal, and it was to do this. And I never wavered. And she was like, oh, we really thought it was a phase.
Yeah.
And then we
that means that's what you were meant to do.
I always say it chose me. Like I didn't have it. It just, that was, even if I'm like, there are some times where it's, I've had a couple of hard years, or I'd go a couple of months without working and be like, what could I do? What could I do? And it's like, well, I was once good in school. I could, nope. I love photography. I'm like an amateur photographer, and I was like, okay, maybe I'll do like a certificate in photography. I went to university for a semester, and on my first day, the teacher said, oh, you're a smart ass. I'm too old for this shit. I'm too old to be told what to do. And so that didn't last very long, and I quit shortly
don't
after.
you get told what to do when you act?
Yeah, but not as like, but that's part of the job, is taking direction.
Yeah.
But I don't like being told what to do in my life.
That's hilarious.
I'm like my inner kid is like triggered. Do not tell me what to do.
Okay.
I will do the opposite just to piss you off.
I've got some grandkids like that.
Yeah, I'm a kid like that, when you're like, don't touch it, and then the kid touches it. It's like a curiosity thing, but also,
that's what I was doing before we did the interview. I was babysitting one of my grandsons, and he did that. He was holding a Thomas the Train track, so a wooden track, and he brought it, and I was sitting on the couch, and he brought it over and kind of acted like he was going to hit me with it. And I was like, don't hit Papa. And he said, okay. And I turned my head, and he smacked the crap out of me with that thing.
Oh, yeah. He's testing his boundaries.
He's testing his boundaries.
I just want to clarify that I do not hit anyone now. I ask permission. It's all consensual.
Did you keep the wig from Titans?
Oh my God. It was not a wig. It was my hair.
That was just your hair? That was
my hair. I'm about to start talking with your accent. I'm so sorry if I hope that does not offend you.
It does not offend me. It's actually kind of soothing.
Yes. Do I sound like your mama?
I'm home.
Yeah, that was my hair. That they bleached it.
Yeah, I just assumed that was a wig.
No, that was my hair, and it fell out after that.
I was wondering, because that's a lot for one episode. Like, to bleach your hair for one episode. Like,
you know what? Thank you so much. I feel so seen and understood right now. Like, what an ask. And I didn't even hesitate. Like, when I got the role, they were like, because I looked up the comic, and I was like, oh, she's got like long blonde hair. And I had at the time like this hair, like shoulder length, dark brune, like, and I was like, they'll wig me for sure. And then I spoke with the director, and he was like, oh, well, would you be willing to bleach your hair? And I was like, yeah, yeah, do it. And I was like, never ask an actor, like an actor who you're offering a job to, like never ask them if they're willing to, they'll say yes and then regret it. So
Yes.
I bleached it. Yeah, they bleached my hair like platinum blonde in one sitting, like one go. We went that blonde. And so a month later, it just started falling out at the top, yeah, like scary times. And I had a Britney moment where I wanted to like just shave it all
Yeah,
off.
just go. That's what I did
Yes.
when it started receding. Gone.
You're like, no, I can't be reminded
That's right.
of the damage. So I was gonna chop it all, buzz it all off. And my partner was like, okay, there, Brittany, chill out. Get yourself a hair appointment and see what you can save. And we managed to save enough for a pixie cut. So, but that totally changed my branding.
Well, yeah, of course it did.
My casting. I went from playing, and you know, it was intentional because I didn't, at the time I was doing a lot of rom-coms and I just wanted out of that.
Yeah.
And so Titans came up and I was like, hell yeah. And then the hair fell out and I was like, okay, let's do this pixie thing. And it totally changed. Like all of a sudden I was going out for queer characters. I was going out for criminals. I was going out for really tough army chicks, cops, like, but I had the best time. I didn't book any of them, but I had the best time because I felt like I was like really stretching myself in all directions.
Well,
and then
so you turned it into a positive.
Yeah. And then I got Trader and it worked for the character. But I have been growing my hair patiently ever since. And yes.
Yeah, me too, but it's not.
Because I don't want to be. How's that going for you?
Not well. You know,
you look great though. You look great.
Well, you're
that.
so sweet. Yeah, you know, back in the 80s, I had like 80s hair. You know, I could feather it. It was awesome.
Wow, I can see you.
Yeah, I
you.
hated it because it took forever.
It takes.
And then I think that's my theory is that one day my hair was like, all right, you don't want us here, we're out. And now I kind of miss it.
Yeah, well, you always miss what you know. The grass is
always. I don't know though. It's so easy though. I don't know if I want it back because I don't have to do much.
You just get to wake up.
Just wake up.
Yeah, I mean that's what I miss about having the short hair is that it was just there. I didn't have to do anything. And now that it's long, I have to like.
I bet you look good with a pixie cut though.
But I felt, you know what? I felt cool. I felt edgy. I felt different. But I feel like I lost touch with my femininity, and unfortunately, it's like the industry has an idea of what a leading lady or leading female actress should look like, and it was so messed up because as much as I was pigeonholed before cutting my hair, all of a sudden with short hair I was pigeonholed, and I'm like,
can't win.
Like, where are wigs? Like, can't you just wig me?
Let me ask your opinion on this because this is something I'm not really considering, but kind of considering. What if I did every interview with a different wig? But never said anything about it. You know, some of them would just be like normal looking, but some would be outrageous.
I think if you didn't say anything about it, if you didn't like speak to the fact that you were wearing a wig, that would become a shtick and that would be hilarious.
That's what I think. I'm not brave enough to do it, but it's a good idea.
That's why you should do it.
Yeah, I kind of think that too.
But I also feel like maybe the ship has sailed because you're too deep into it now.
I'm pretty far in.
Yeah, because I feel like if you were just starting a podcast, but if you start a second podcast, I think just commit to the wigs like right off the bat.
So do I ask my guests to wear a wig too, or is it just me?
I mean, I would be into it, but who knows?
Or do every guest that has hair, do I get them to wear like a skull cap?
That, that'd be funny. From now on, just to feel more included, and it's like actors who I think there was you know, you hear stories of like, oh, we had to do this like really crazy, like erotic nude scene, and everyone was in their underwear. Like the crew was in their underwear to show like in support, you know, in solidarity. And
That
so
would not
maybe
help
that's what
me,
you
but
need.
okay.
Yeah, maybe that's what you need. I think
Oh,
on Barbie they had like a pink day. I think Fridays was it like a pink where everyone had to wear pink. I like stuff like that because
I'd
it,
wear pink, but it's,
yeah,
you know, it's
you,
what's the Mean Girls? It's you wear pink on Wednesdays.
oh, is that, oh, is
Yeah.
that,
Have you don't remember that? It's the on
I have
Wednesdays
the
we wear
worst,
pink.
I have, but it is Wednesday. I'm not, I kind of am wearing
You got a
pink
little bit of pink on. There you
a little
go.
bit.
You
I'm
know,
in my like 90s, by the way.
you might be the first interview I've done where you're like in pajamas.
Yeah. And, you know, it is what it is.
You should have told me. I'd have worn mine.
Next time we'll coordinate. I'll wear a wig, you'll wear your 90.
Oh shoot. Okay, so we got to talk about Trader.
Yes.
Keep getting
Yes.
us off track. So
Sorry.
Trader's the new movie, and it comes out like tomorrow, right? And
I didn't realize, but yes.
yeah, I didn't
It's
either.
out
So
tomorrow. So tomorrow in the States, and then in Canada on the 22nd.
and then at some point on Tubi.
Tubi. That's, I don't know. I don't know when that will be.
Yeah. That's pretty exciting. So the date is August the 10th. If
Yes.
anybody was interested, because they'll see the interview and they'll be like, "Oh, it's tomorrow." I'll be like, "No, it's out
So
now."
yes, August 10th, like last week.
Yeah, it's out now. So what's Trader about? What's your role in it?
So Traitor is a psychological thriller about this manipulative sociopath who doesn't have a name, and that's who I play, who has a deep need to succeed. And so she decides to take over the stock market. She teaches herself to do day trading. And she, you know, chooses to, you know, go to war with a big pharmaceutical company. And she will do anything to succeed.
Okay.
Yeah, it gets
What does that
very
mean
dark.
though, as a trader? What's she doing?
Well, it's the whole day trading thing where you can see, that's where I'm like, this is where my knowledge ends. You can like invest in a company or like predict that they're going to fail, and like there's like a whole stock thing there. So if they like a pharmaceutical trial, so in our movie it's a trial, like a cure for cancer or whatever, and she bets against, I don't want you to tell, I'm so bad with this, no spoiler alerts. You can bet for or against a trial, and you know, invest your money, and then if it does well and you invested, then your money goes up, and if it does, you know, you lose.
Yeah, you
So
lose.
that's the day, and every day is like up and down, up and down. It's oh my God, that was Corey, our director, if he's listening to this, will be cringing. He's like, she does not know what she's talking about. I just acted like I pretended to know what I was doing.
Yes.
And I played Traitor. Yeah, acting.
Yeah. You know, when I first got out of college, I had my insurance license and my broker license.
Holy shoot.
Yeah. I briefly worked for a bank as a loan officer. As like I was probably like 21 years old or something. Why in the world they'd trust me to do that? But I had my broker license.
So you understand that more than I do.
No, I don't understand anything. It's been 30 years. I don't remember any of it. But I technically, I can at least say, yes, I passed the test. It isn't easy to get at one time. I don't think I could do it today, but at 30 years ago.
I mean, that's how I feel about high school. I did it then. I could not do it today.
I can't study anymore. I don't know when I lost the ability to like sit and study something, but I did. It's gone.
I can't retain it. I can learn lines, and I feel like that's a different muscle, a different part of my brain, but I cannot retain information. I can't retain people's names. I don't know where I ate last week. Like I write.
Oh, I remember the food.
Otherwise, like I'll go to the grocery store. It's like I needed something. and it's gone.
I do that all the time. You end up coming back with stuff that you didn't need and don't get the thing that you went for.
Exactly. Like
Yeah,
you didn't get olive oil.
Yeah, I get
Yeah.
that. So in preparation for this role, did you like watch all of the movies that just had a single actor in it?
No. Did I watch?
I mean, do
I
you
think
have a
first-
favorite single actor movie?
Yes, Locke.
Locke that's Tom Hardy, right?
That's Tom Hardy.
Yeah, that's
So I
excellent.
watched Locke, and that was like, you know, that really like inspired me. And there were a few other movies that Corey had me watch, but I don't remember.
Yeah, I was trying to think of ones that took place in like one room, and I couldn't. I could think of like
I also watched
Castaway
The
and some of
Guilty,
those.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
What's that one?
The Guilty.
Oh, The Guilty. Yeah, that's a good movie.
Yeah, so I also really liked that. I didn't watch the original. I should have.
I like this one called Moon. Do you remember one called Moon? Sam Rockwell.
No.
So it
But
took
it's
place.
called Moon?
He was basically stranded on the moon. So it's just
Shut
him.
up.
Yeah, the whole movie's just him.
Okay, well that's I'm gonna add this to my list of movies I need to watch, because a friend of mine was just telling me about this movie called Buried, where the character is buried alive.
I'm not watching that. I know about it, but I'm claustrophobic. I ain't doing that.
Well, I was buried on Lizzie Borden. So I had a visceral reaction to that. I was like, I have to watch it.
Yeah, I
So
remember that.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's surprisingly been a while since that was on, but that was Christina Ricci was playing Lizzie Borden, right? Yeah.
And that was awesome. We shot in Halifax, and there's a scene where my character is buried. Lizzie Borden buries her alive, and I had they had me in a coffin with only the bottom open, with the camera like shooting up my body.
Yeah.
And I had they gave me fake nails so I could scratch, and then the coffin and the nails would like flick off, and it was
awful.
I'm not claustrophobic, but it was very, very narrow, and there was very little acting involved. Like I felt very yeah.
I would not like that.
No.
I remember it, and it looked real. It was
because it was.
Yeah.
It was very real. Like same thing with there's a shot where Lizzie opens the coffin, and they have to close it to have me in there. So I was in a coffin.
You were buried for a little while.
I was.
Yeah. No, thank you.
No,
the
thank
things
you.
you're doing for your roles.
But I would do anything for Christina Ricci, because she's
amazing.
She's awesome.
Yeah, she's amazing. Yeah, that one that was actually a really good adaptation.
I liked it too.
And it was Lifetime, I think, did that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty well done.
Yeah, no, I thought so too. I had fun on that.
In Trader, are you just in one room, or does it follow you around to other places?
It's just one. I mean, it's a basement. It has the main room, and then a tiny little side room that was kind of like her bedroom. But it was one very small space, and it was cold. We shot in the winter. It was cold. It was like moist. I always felt like cold and wet.
Yeah, that's not ideal.
It helped for and we were, small crew. It was an indie, like micro budget film, and we shot.
You shouldn't need a big budget if it's just one actor in a room. I'm sure you had people doing voices and stuff, but
yes. So we had a full cast of voice actors, and we had them on set. So they were upstairs. So it was great because I felt supported. Yeah. And I also didn't want to do any of the phone scenes alone, because I find that particularly hard. Because for me, my acting, I don't like to plan how I'm going to say things.
Right. Yeah, that'd be really difficult.
I like to feed off of what the other actor gives me. So it was so great to have all of them on set, so we could run the scenes, like try to find the scene, the pacing, like all of that, and then have them upstairs. And so there was a speaker in the basement, so I could hear them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it was live, and then in the post production they made it better, but
yeah, but that probably helped with the acting because
I could not have done it
when you're it.
Yeah, I needed them. Like that was it was always part of the plan was to have the actors there. Yeah.
This role, did you get excited about it, or were you nervous because the whole thing's on you?
Well, I like to run towards my fears, and like, if there's a fire, if there's an accident, I am on my way. Like, I'm that person.
Okay.
I am nosy as fuck.
You're the one that's driving slowly past the accident when the rest of us are just trying to get home.
Yeah, I see caution tape and I literally like stop the car. Like, I'm that person. But I also think it's because I was a lifeguard for so many years.
Yeah.
And so we were trained to react. And like I once jumped in a river to save a drunk man. And
really?
A petite woman of my size should not jump in a river. Did he
fight you?
No, he was so drunk. He had no idea what was happening.
Okay, because sometimes they fight because they're drowning, basically.
Well, there wasn't a lot. There was probably like maybe 4 feet of water, but he was so intoxicated that he was
How'd you get him out?
I got him up on his feet and I dragged him out.
That's amazing.
But no one else, like, that's the thing. Everyone else was like on their phones, whatever. And like no one else did anything. And my instinct was to just get in there. It was probably very stupid of me.
Yes.
But the guy was fine. And then I bounced because I was like, I do not want to be like interviewed by cops or,
Why not? Were you on the run?
I was on the run. Yeah, I know. I was wanted in like at least 6 provinces. Yeah. But yeah, what were we saying? What were we talking about just now?
You being fearless, I think, is what.
Oh, fearless. Yeah. Well, fearless. I think anyone who's fearless is fearful, but you do it anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it is just who is being affected and what do those people mean to you? So you can be a lot braver if it's a relative or a child.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it comes to like my own personal life. Whenever I feel fear, I know that there's resistance, and behind that resistance, there's growth.
That's true. Yeah.
So
that's
whenever I'm like, ugh, I don't want to have that conversation, I know that I have to.
Yes.
And whenever there's a role that I'm like, oh, that scares me, it's like, no, I have to do it. There's something for me to learn here. So that's what I try to do.
If I was a reality TV executive, I would totally try to get you on one of those shows.
No fucking way.
Why not?
First of all,
You're fearless.
I swear way too much. Like, it's problematic. Like, whenever I do public speaking and interviews, my mom, who watches and listens to everything I do. She watches all my auditions. Hi, Mom.
That's a good mom.
She'll be listening to this. But she was like, you have to stop swearing. Please don't swear. Please don't swear.
Well, you've nailed it so far.
Nailed it so far. I have to try really hard to not swear.
So that would prevent you from doing like Fear Factor.
Well, wouldn't they all of a sudden have like a high rating? Like, what is it called? Like an 18 plus, 19 plus. Like, I would bump up the rating just from being vulgar.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's problematic. Okay. And I'd probably be naked a lot. And that's also a problem. And
why on Fear Factor would you need to be naked?
My mouth open.
Well, if you're going to do a show like Fear Factor, I think that we would assume that you chew with your mouth open.
Yeah, but you know what? Because I'm thinking Survivor.
Now Survivor.
So I
like,
would be more inclined to do Survivor, and like this, like I am not
okay,
asking for it. I do not want to be on any reality TV show.
I'm gonna, because I watch Survivor. I've watched it from the beginning, so I'm
Oh,
going
okay.
to tune in on the next season or whatever, and there you'll be. You'll be like, who's this? Who's
Oh
this
my
bald
God.
chick running around naked? And I'll be like, I know who it is.
Yeah. Oh my God. I couldn't. You can't undo that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you can't unsee those things. But just to circle back, Fear Factor, I used to watch that show.
Yeah, me too.
I would not be able to do that because there's a difference between fear and phobias.
Agreed.
And I actually think that it's unhealthy if you have a phobia to tackle that. Like you need like supervised like medical help and support from therapists to work through phobias. Like I have a fear of heights, so sure I can, I would do a movie with Tom Cruise. Sure. I do not like bugs, probably a phobia. Like I just don't like bugs.
Yeah.
The bigger the bug, the more freaked out I am. And so the idea of going on Fear Factor and being covered in spiders.
Yeah, they love their bugs.
No, like that's where I draw the line, because there's no growth there. Like, what is the growth?
No, it's just trauma there.
It's trauma. I don't need to be re-traumatized.
Mine is mice or rats.
Mice?
Yeah, I hate them. Like it's a legit phobia. I cannot stand those things.
Oh my God.
I just freeze up. It's so dumb.
No, it's not dumb, but I find mice such cute creatures.
I know a lot of people do, but not me.
That's okay. How do you feel about rats?
Oh, that's worse. They could run right up your leg. Nobody wants that.
No, I saved a little mouse from the subway a couple of years back, and everyone was looking at me like I was crazy. And it was like a little field mouse, little brown one.
Yeah, it don't matter.
They're like,
not for me.
Not for you. Okay. I was like, come with me. I was holding it in people were thought.
When the kids were little, they brought a hamster home, or a gerbil maybe, from school. You know how they had to, and it got loose. And I'm sitting, watching TV by myself. Everybody else is asleep. And this stupid thing had me trapped on the couch because I wasn't moving. And I freeze up. Like I couldn't even yell for help. It was ridiculous. They just found me there the next morning, and that gerbil just sat there all night. Yeah, it was not a good night.
Yeah. I mean, I think I feel like that about roaches. Like when I see a roach, and in Toronto, the houses are so old, you'll see a roach. It's kind of like you go into freeze mode.
Yeah.
And, and when I'm really scared, my knees,
they like buckle.
They buckle, and I just drop. Dead weight.
Well, that's not what you want to do around, a mouse or insects. No.
Okay, let's move on. I'm getting goosebumps.
All right, we're gonna move on. How about Naked and Afraid though? Could you do that?
Naked and what?
Naked and Afraid. Have you ever watched that show?
No.
So they basically just take a group of people and drop them off in the woods naked. They have nothing, so they have to like find tree leaves and stuff and make clothes, but they start out just naked with nothing.
Okay, this is the thing. I would totally do that if it wasn't a reality TV show. like do that, but it's fiction. Like it's like a feature film.
Oh, okay. So it's fiction.
Or a series. But I have this thing with like reality TV. I don't watch it. I don't consume it. The
only one I really watch is Survivor. I've always watched it. Although some of the, like I watched some of the singing competitions when they first came out. Now there's so many.
I can't because I get so invested in them because I know what it's like to be rejected, and I just can't handle it. I can't.
It probably stresses you out.
It, like, my anxiety levels peak, and it's like I just need to go for a walk and calm down. Like that's how invested I get in any kind of those talent shows. It breaks my heart. Okay,
Yeah.
have you seen the movie Unorthodox?
Who's in it?
No idea.
No, I don't
It
think
was fantastic, an amazing movie.
I'm writing it down.
Please watch it. But there's a scene where this girl, so she's raised in an Orthodox family, and she decides to leave, and she goes to Europe to like live her best life, basically.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's a scene where she wants to pursue piano. She wants to be a pianist. And so there's a scene where she starts playing in front of her new friends, and they don't react very well to her playing.
Oh, okay.
And I had like,
it stressed you out, didn't it?
It didn't. It broke me. Like my heart broke in half. We had to pause the film because I was weeping like a child. Like it broke my heart, and I could not stop weeping. So I took 10. I just sat there and let it all out. The last time I had that reaction was when I watched The Whale.
Oh yeah, The Whale is a great movie. And if you don't cry during The Whale, something's wrong.
You're dead inside.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just like cracked me open, and I had so many feelings of all, and I was just, I wept. And the same thing with The Whale. I left
it took us like
so much in
5 hours to get through that movie because we kept having to stop and take breaks.
Well, I saw it in theaters, and I was weeping and weeping like loudly. And so at the end, I told my partner, I was like, I just need a minute. And I went to the bathroom and I just let it out. And I even took a photo of myself, and I was just like, yeah, there's just something about, and I don't know what it is exactly, but it just, that
kind of cracks me up because there's two type of people. There's the type that ugly cry and they don't want anybody to see it. And then there's the type that they don't want people to see it. So I mean, take a picture of themselves just, crying.
Well, because I'm an oversharer, so I sent the photo around to like my friends and family. I used it as promotion. I was like, go see The Whale and you'll be wailing. Like, it was just,
That's one of those movies you got to prepare yourself before you go. Because they're tough. I'm very emotional, and it's hard for me to get through just like normal programs that nobody else is getting emotional about, but I do, because there has some couple characters have a moment or something, and I get all choked up. Everybody else is like, what's the matter with you?
No, I feel, and I just give me 1 sec. I feel like my phone's about to die. I'm just gonna move you and plug you in.
Are you on your phone?
Yeah.
Oh, I just assumed it was a laptop. It looks like a laptop.
It's just because I have a little setup.
You actually are in like a nightgown.
I am in my. I meant it.
Here, I assumed you had like a different collared bottom, but it's all the same. It's an actual nightgown.
It's like a. Oh no! Did I lose you?
No, I'm here.
Okay, 1 sec. I cannot hang up. Oh no! What did I do?
You're back.
I'm back. But where's the volume? It's like a long dress, but it's what I sleep in. Yeah. I'm in my bedroom. This is my bedroom.
Well, your bedroom is very clean. So.
Well, I like.
You're organized.
I'm like I manage anxiety. Since I was a kid, I've always had I had panic attacks when I was a kid, and that just turned into bunch of like bad behaviors, not bad behaviors, but like nail biting and like skin picking, that sort of stuff.
Unhealthy behaviors.
What?
Unhealthy behaviors.
Unhealthy behaviors. Yeah. So I self-soothe by like keeping things very tidy and clean.
That's how I am.
Yeah.
Like it will visibly stress me if things are out of place.
Oh, 100%.
I'm not like crazy about it. It doesn't have to be perfect, but if it's that bugs.
I am. And as a teenager, I couldn't go to sleep if my room wasn't tidy. And if I didn't, like, I just couldn't turn off my brain.
Yeah, I get that.
And it became a habit. And now that's just how things are. And I don't, and the thing is, because I know this about myself, I don't impose it on other people. So
Okay,
if
see,
my
that's a big
partner,
deal.
yeah, if my partner he's clean, but he's not tidy the way I am, that's on me. Like I clean up after him. But do you know what I mean? I don't hold a resentment because I know that's
different.
A self-soothing thing.
That's right. And if you care about somebody, it's not really a chore to clean up after them. That's the way I feel.
No, and he does things for me, but to impose my level of cleanliness or like tidiness, impose that on him is not fair, because I know it's a little excessive.
Yeah, that's see, that's
we're going into some deep stuff here.
Yeah, you've got some stuff there, but it sounds like you got it all worked out though.
I mean, I'm working on it. I'm honestly a shrink's like passion project. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, where do you want to begin? How young do you want to go?
So I got to mention this. I know we got to wrap up, but I told you I always go around to the family to see what they've seen you in. And my oldest, my daughter, she's the day after Thanksgiving, she starts watching Christmas movies. So that's always her answer. If you've been in a Christmas movie, she guarantees that she knows it, and she does. She does. So she said you did like what was the name of it? It was something with Denver. Yes, Christmas in the Rockies. But it was the name. What was your name in the movie? It had a very Christmas. It'll come to me. I wish I wrote it down.
I would check. Wait. Let's look it up. It up.
Oh, no. I got it. It's Katie Jolly was your name.
Katie Jolly. Oh my God. Thank you. I forget these things.
That's how she remembered it. She's like, that's Katie Jolly.
Oh my God. Okay. You have to tell her that we shot that movie in a heat wave in July in Toronto. And if you pay attention, those mountains move. Like, no joke. The CGI.
Why don't they just film it and then release it the next winter? Why do they do it in the summer?
Oh, because they're doing these Christmas movies year round. Yeah. And they're great production companies in Toronto, and they are making like 60 movies a year, and they focus on Christmas movies and romantic movies. So I did like 6 in a row.
Yep.
One of them was the only Christmas movie I've ever done, but it was fun because I love Christmas, and I got to you get to do fun stuff like learn how to throw an axe.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
that's a good party trick.
Do you go to a lot of parties with axes?
Well, we have thrown around. Have you been to the restaurants where it's like axe throwing? You drink beer and you throw axes. We got a lot of those around here for some.
I feel like, I think in your neck of the woods, there might be,
but I
think in Toronto, you need to go to an axe throwing place. I don't think they combine drinking and axe throwing in Toronto.
You wouldn't think they would, but we have them all over the place here.
I mean, I believe that.
Yeah.
I believe that.
And there's a trick to it. Like if you throw an axe, it doesn't matter how hard you throw it. It's the way you throw it to get it to stick to the wall. I never could get it to stick. I just threw as hard as I could, and it just banged off.
It didn't even make it to the wall. Like mine just goes, like I have no upper body strength. Like I
get that guy out of the river.
I don't know. But that's okay. Let me just say something. When adrenaline kicks in, I mean, I see Hulk behind you. Like you become it's like a supernatural strength takes over, and then it dies down very quickly. But so when I went when I turned 30, my sister and I went to do the Machu Picchu trek, and she's a nurse. And she usually has great judgment, but she was really affected by altitude sickness.
Oh,
And
okay.
I wasn't. I was totally fine. But she, you know, she had a little bit of diarrhea. Oh my gosh, she's gonna kill me that I'm telling the story.
She's not gonna be happy with you. She had a
But it
little
was the
stomach
altitude
distress. I got you.
and it can be very dangerous. And they always tell you when you're trekking uphill, that you need, if you're gonna squat, you know, to do your business, you have to squat mountainside. Do not squat cliffside because you can lose your bearings and fall back. Like that's how people disappear in Peru.
Yeah.
They lose their judgment because they're sick with altitude sickness, and then they squat over to take a shit and they fall, and then they fall into the river and they're
That's
never
terrible.
seen again. Yeah. So my sister, so she was squatting, so I kept walking, you know, slowly, but I was walking, and all I hear is, like, the fuck? And I'm like slowly walking back, and all I see is her little fingers, like she's trying to like grab something. She's hanging off the freaking cliff. Her pants down. She's covered in shit. And I just became Superwoman. And my sister's like 5'10", like she's so much taller than me, and she's broad shoulders. She looks like she's made like a professional volleyball player. And I'm like this little like gremlin. And so I grabbed her and I like yanked her up. How I did that, no idea.
That's amazing. What a story.
What a story. Yeah. And
are you
and
still holding that over her head?
What?
Are you holding that over her head? Like, you know,
no,
I
but
your
it
life
is my
that time.
favorite scene to reenact at Christmas. And, you know, we embellish it. And by the end, we're both covered in shit. And like, oh yeah, it's great. But it did happen. And I did have supernatural strength. But I think when I'm not nervous, I can't tap into that.
I think you can be the Hulk.
I think so.
Yeah. That's at least 2 instances where you have
think we all
displayed
have
superhuman strength. Hopefully I never find out.
I mean, I hope so. I hope I never find out in the world, in like on set. I wouldn't want the Hulk to show up in a professional setting.
This is and then we'll stop. But this is as close as I can come to that. So I was at the beach and I'm out in the water, and there was like the rip current was really strong. And I didn't realize that till I was in it. So we're there. The kids are fairly young, you know, maybe around teenage age, but little. And my stepdaughter sees that I'm in distress and starts coming toward me. And I'm like, stop.
Stay back. Yeah.
Stay back, because it's taking like all my strength to try to get out of this, you know. And I was making headway, so I wasn't panicked, but I was tired. It was taking all my strength. So she comes all the way out to me and says, "What?" And literally, like I didn't have any strength left to help her, and she got stuck with me. And in my head, I'm like, I think I'm going to lose her. I couldn't do anything. I was just stuck. Well, and then, you know, my Christmas loving daughter comes flying through, grabbed both of us, pulled us both out. I still don't know how she did it, because she wasn't much.
It was the Christmas spirit.
Yeah. I was like, I completely failed. Well, there she was.
Wow. Yeah, no. Adrenaline does wonderful things.
I was like, maybe don't come out. You know, pay attention to the hand signals, maybe. Don't.
Yeah, I know. What was your signaling? What was, you know?
Yeah, you know, I think I was like being very demonstrative. I probably wasn't doing anything but just, you know, nothing. So that's probably.
You were probably just flailing your arms like, hi, I'm here.
Yeah, she probably thought I was having a good time. All right, so
Oh,
Kim, so a couple things before we wrap up.
yes,
The Trader comes out August 10th, which is tomorrow. But if you're
yes,
watching the interview, it's probably already out
yes.
with that.
So it's
And
out on
in the
VOD
US, right?
in the US and then in Canada on the 22nd
That's
of
right. That
August.
doesn't seem fair. You're
I
Canadian. You should get it first.
don't understand, but yeah, I'm not
Aren't
sure.
we
I'm not sure.
close enough? I mean, we're in the same continent. Shouldn't it
I
just be
know.
one release date?
I'm not sure why. I'm not sure
I
why,
don't get
but
that.
it is what it is.
I don't get that, but okay.
Americans get it first and then Canadians. Yeah.
Doesn't seem fair, but okay. But you guys have that reputation of being like overly polite, so maybe that's working against
Yeah,
you.
I think we took one for the team. We thought, let's give the US
They've had a rough
their
year.
own
Let's help
release.
them out.
Yeah, yeah. It's only fair.
So is there anything else that you're working on that we can keep an eye out for?
Oh my God, yes. I wrapped last month on an amazing project called Die Alone by
Oh, okay.
writer-director Lowell Dean. He did all the Wolf Cop movies.
Oh,
And
yeah. Yeah,
it's
those are
his
fun.
yeah, he's awesome, but it's his first sort of dramatic piece. And it's a post-apocalyptic, post-pandemic sort of zombie love story. I hate to say zombie, but that's what people know. We have our own version of zombies. We call them the reclaimed.
Oh,
But
okay.
it's with Carrie-Anne Moss, Frank Grillo, Douglas Smith, and moi.
That's a heck of a cast.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really excited. And it was like a passion project because Lowell had tried to get it up on its feet for years.
Yeah.
And yeah, it finally came together. We shot up in Saskatchewan. So it's going to be beautiful. And then yeah, I'm starting on a new project on Monday. Can't talk about it yet, but I can't wait for that too. It's horror, so it's going to feel different.
Okay.
Yeah, but
You've been busy.
yeah, yes. And
So, okay. So I assume.
I'm so aware of my privilege right now because I'm not part of SAG, and
Yeah.
I'm Canadian, and I work on actor projects. And we were able to finish Die Alone just as the strike was starting, and then this new project, luckily got a waiver because it's they are giving SAG what they want.
Yeah.
So I think SAG is giving out waivers to production companies who are willing to, play by their rules,
Right.
which is only fair. So yeah, I've been very lucky.
Yeah.
Very
I
lucky.
hope that nonsense ends soon and that everybody gets taken care of. I mean, come on. There's plenty of money. Spread it around a little bit.
Technology is changing so fast, and really we should have foreseen this. We should have anticipated this happening with like the streaming services and whatnot. And so it only makes sense that writers and actors are paid according to
Yes.
these are new times.
I mean,
so,
I always kind of look at it as whatever profession you're in, if you can't survive, if you can't live off the money you're making from that profession, they need to fix it.
yeah,
it's dumb. I mean, you're going to end up losing your people.
Yeah. And the film industry is a massive, massive industry, and it has a trickling effect on other industries, and it employs a lot of people, not just writers and directors and actors. It's just too bad that studio execs are kind of like waiting it out so that, they're thinking, if there are enough broke actors and writers, then
that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of.
Yeah.
But that's not the way it's going to work.
It just makes us feel undervalued,
Yeah.
But
which I think you are, being honest.
Yeah.
I'm pro actor in this fight. I'll just put that out there.
Oh yeah, and a lot of people are misinformed, and they think like celebrities, like boo-hoo. It's like, yeah, but they're the 1%.
That's right.
Most actors make very little money, and they usually have like side jobs, like a side hustle.
Oh yeah. It's probably
it's
90% of the actors I talk with are doing something on the side.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And like actors deserve healthcare as much as everyone else, and have access to, and also like this whole AI thing, and it's terrifying. Anyway,
Yeah.
let's not get into that. That's a whole other conversation.
It's cool. It's cool in some respects, but it's very terrifying.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I love the technology. And we see it in video games. Like they were using my face and they have all that data. But I wouldn't want them to sell my data.
No, that you shouldn't be allowed to do that.
And all of a sudden, my face pops up in movies without my consent and without me being paid. Like that's that's the crazy thing.
Yeah, I mean that's a no-brainer. That's why I said it's a dumb situation, because you should have to pay if you're using somebody's likeness. However you're using it, you should have to pay. And if they don't want you to use it, you shouldn't be allowed to use it.
Yeah. But also, with streaming services, people don't realize like network television, if a series was, they pay you for that time. Like they pay you for that, for the airing of that one series. But if they decide to replay it a year later, they had to pay residuals. But now with Netflix and the streaming services, they don't buy you out, or they don't pay residuals, and they own forever. So it's just the movie that you made, you got paid scale, let's say. Yeah. But they own it forever, and they're going to play it and make profit on it forever.
And you get nothing.
It's not fair. And you get nothing. Whereas back in the day when it was just network television, you can live off residuals for the rest of your life.
Which is how
I'm not talking a lot of money, but I'm talking a little bit of money here and there.
Yeah, it's just surviving money.
Yes, like helps with rent money.
Yeah. Okay, so last thing before we go, where can we find you on social media? On
Instagram. I am exclusively on Instagram, which takes up too much of my time. At Sue Murray.
I like that.
My name is so long, you can't get the whole thing in.
I feel like I should have been calling you Sue this whole time.
I have so many nicknames, it hurts. You can call me whatever. Kim Sue, Sue, Kimmy Sue.
Well, if you ever come through West Virginia, I'm using the full name.
Yeah, yes. But then I'll be on edge because I feel like I did something wrong.
Yeah, see, same. If you use Michael instead of Mike, then it just feels like my mother is yelling at me.
Yeah, it does feel. For me, it's my dad, but no, my mom too. But she would say it with a French accent, French Canadian accent.
That might help. If my mother was yelling at me in French, that might help. Or with a French accent.
With a French accent.
Well, of course, if she's upset with me, though, it's not just Michael. It's like my full name. It's got my middle name and everything.
What's your middle name? Let's hear it.
It's David. So I get Michael David. And then I know, like the hair on the back of my neck will stand up. I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah. I'm like in extra trouble if it's like my name, my full name, and then both my last names.
You got two last names? How long is the actual name? Is there a middle name after Sue?
There's no middle name, but it's two last names. Yeah, and then I just dropped one because it was too long.
That's a long name.
That's a long name.
You Canadians.
My children are going to have very short names.
Yeah. Well, don't make them too short, because I always thought, Mike Wall, that's too short. So that's why I always used Michael when I was in school, because I was like, that's too short. You got to.
Mike Wall.
Yeah, Mike Wall. Well, maybe. I mean, it's only 8 letters, though. That just seems you should at least have double-digit letters.
Yeah, you want at least to have like 2 syllables per name.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I spent a lot of time in school worrying about that for some reason. I don't know why.
I know. I did too. I was just like.
Because nobody cares.
No. The thing is, nobody ever cares.
No.
We care about ourselves, and we're in our heads and in our bodies, and we're suffering, but no one cares.
Nobody cares. They got their own problems. They're not worried about you.
Exactly.
But when you're young, you don't know, or even when you're old, you don't know that.
Do you know what they called me in elementary school? Like when they were trying to like make fun of my name, they would call me Kim Barley Soup.
That
was
is
just
like the worst
cool.
trash talk I've ever heard.
I
That's terrible.
know. It's like that's the best. I'm like, I'm cool with it.
I'd roll with that. Just call me Barley.
Just barley. Or soup. Just call me soup.
Because that's how nicknames start. Somebody says something, it doesn't make any sense, and it's
Yeah. And then they shorten it. But I mean, I would have been cool with
soup's
barley.
better. I like that. Do soup.
Just soup. I want a jersey that says soup.
I think you should lean into it.
I think so.
Nobody would get it except for like your two cousins and the one other person you graduated with.
Oh man.
Were you being bullied by your cousins?
No. We were chill. We were tight.
It was that one other person.
We were family, really. No, I was bullied by other girls. I was bullied by the popular girls.
Of course.
Yeah, they didn't like me.
They don't like anybody except
yeah,
the
but
popular.
Okay. Karma's a bitch, so.
Well, Kim, thank you so much. You have to come back. We have
yes,
to
I do. Well, okay. Well, I can come back next year to talk about Die Alone.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I have to see that movie. Just the cast alone.
Yes, and I think you're gonna like it because it's a dramatic story. It's a love story, but it has a bit of a supernatural twist.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I like that. Unless it's too scary, and then
And he's not too scary.
But actually, scary doesn't bother me. It's the gore.
It's the gore.
Yeah, I don't like gore.
Yeah, then you're not gonna watch this horror film I'm about to do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no, that's one that I might see bits and pieces of it, but I probably won't sit all the way through it. I'm big chicken. You'll never have to worry about. I'm a big chicken. You'll never have to worry about me falling backwards off a cliff because I will never be up on a cliff.
Yeah. Oh my god. See, I like watching horror or like scary movies or horror films, whatever, because I like the scare and the release.
Yeah.
Like you get scared and then you kind of laugh.
Yeah.
And whenever I go to movies and it's scary, I make everyone jump because I'm the screamer. Yeah. But then I laugh and then I make everyone laugh. So it's a fun experience.
Okay, that's not terrible.
Yeah, you want to go to the movies with me for sure.
If you get like if somebody startles you intentionally, like they're trying to scare you intentionally, do you get upset in the moment or do you just yell and then you think it's funny?
I will yell, drop to the floor because my knees buckle, and then I'll probably have a really good laugh.
Yeah. Yeah, you're a better person than me because I just get mad.
Then I would want to get them back.
Yeah, you'd want revenge. I get that.
And it's not revenge, but it's like, oh, so now this is a game.
That's why I never do it.
Take that very seriously.
I do not want this to become a game. Like, I don't want you doing this again to me. So I'm just going to let it go.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, frights are fun.
Yeah. Yeah, frights are kind of fun. Just no gore. Did
you watch Haunting of Hill House?
I did. I really liked it.
I loved it. And there were a few frights in there that I screamed. Like it was like a screech. It was like a high-pitched yell. And I scared everyone.
Oh, I could totally tell that or see that because there was definitely some moments in that one.
You know when they're in the car?
Yes.
And they're just talking. And then the girl, oh my,
I may have jumped a little on that one.
Yeah. I did not.
I tell you what, that one, I don't remember what scene it was, but I was watching those episodes running on a treadmill, which was the dumbest thing. Because then when there was a scare, I'd almost kill myself on that treadmill.
Oh, why would you do that?
I don't know.
You're asking to trip and just like.
My thought process is I'm only kind of paying attention, so it won't scare me as bad. That wasn't true. It scared me really bad.
Michael, I want someone to listen to your podcast and start a TikTok trend.
Yeah.
I don't even have to talk, but a TikTok trend of people whose knees buckle when they get scared, running on a treadmill, watching horror films. Like, and they're just, it's like a jackass thing where it's like they just keep hurting themselves. Do you know how funny that would be?
Do you think I could start a trend? Because all you have to do is put me on a treadmill and show me something scary.
That Oh my God, you have to do that and put it on TikTok.
Have
Like,
you ever fallen off a treadmill?
No, but I love watching people fall
Yeah,
off.
because it sends you flying.
It does. Listen, I'm the girl on Instagram. I spend hours sending memes. Like, I'm looking for the memes. I'm looking for the laughs on Instagram. And I have my sister, my friend Sarah, and my partner. Those are like my three like meme friends.
Yep.
And so many times I would send like those, treadmills disaster memes or videos, those TikTok videos that end up on Instagram. They kill me.
I'm feeling like I need to start a TikTok channel now.
I think so too.
And the only thing I post is me getting thrown off a treadmill.
Okay. Oh, can I add to it? Can you wear a wig, a different wig and then the wig goes flying? Like, this is like comedy, like gold.
It's like gold. Yeah.
It's gold. Yeah, this is precious stuff.
Now, if we could work in like me interviewing somebody else on a treadmill.
Or maybe you're watching, it's like a social commentary. So you're watching the horror film with like the actor or director of that film. So it's all happening.
Oh, yes.
You're just adding.
See, I like this because then it's almost like a challenge. Let's just see if your film's scary. And we're interviewing, and then we'll see, well, does Mike fall off the treadmill? If he does, it's scary.
And then you can have a rating system, like how hurt you got through the process. And it could be like a treadmill rating. Like, I don't know. I think there's something here.
We'd have to pad the area behind me, I think.
And pad the wall, pad everything. Yeah, I mean, or you can go just full out jackass.
Or I could just maybe I just put, knee and elbow pads on. To help with the look on the treadmill.
I see.
And maybe a little biker's helmet.
On top of your wig?
Oh, that's right. I got a wig.
But then the wig can't fly off.
Yeah, then the wig wouldn't.
I want to see.
We want that. Yeah, we want that.
Yeah.
That's funnier.
So funny. So good.
I think we're on to something.
I think we're on to something.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Like, maybe I'll stop podcasting and you drop out of acting and we start a TikTok channel? We restart Jackass, but on a treadmill.
I would be the worst influencer. Do you know what I mean? I would influence people and making terrible, terrible life decisions.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Well, Kim, you have to come back. This has been so much fun. I've had a blast. I didn't intend for us to talk this long, but it's been so much fun.
I love it. Sometimes these interviews are so hit and miss, This was a hit. This is a 5 stars. 5 stars for you.
I'm probably going to use that.
Please do. Please watch the listen to the podcast. I'm a podcast fan, so I will promote this too.
Oh, that's very nice of you.
Yeah.
The people need to understand the nonsense that we've been talking about for an hour. And also they need to go see this wonderful movie that you're in.
Trader. Yeah. Yes. Go rent it. Wherever it is. iTunes, Amazon.
Yeah, we don't want you waiting on Tubi. Let's get that thing rented right now.
Yeah, Tubi is like round 2 when you want to watch it again with your folks.
That's right.
Yeah. Amazing. Thank you so much. This was fun.
This has been great. Okay.
I'm going to go nap now.
I know, me too. It's time to dinner and then a nap.
Yes.
All right, hold on. Okay, so that was actress Kimberly Sue Murray. Probably couldn't tell, but we were having a pretty good time. Yeah, I enjoyed that interview, so apologies that we ran a little long, but that was a lot of fun. Hope you enjoyed it as well. Make sure you check out Kim in Trader. I can't wait because I love those single actor movies, and the early buzz on it is that she is amazing in it, like Oscar worthy good. So do yourself a favor. The movie is, when you're watching this, it's out. It's called Traitor. Definitely give Kim your support. Really appreciate you tuning in with us again this week. Definitely don't take you for granted. Really appreciate that. If you're new to us, thank you. Love to have your support. It's easy to do. It's free. If you prefer to watch, it's YouTube, MeisterCon Pod. Just hit subscribe. Really helps us out. If you prefer to listen to your podcast, just wherever you're listening to them from, just subscribe there. That'll help us as well. You can find, today we put out episode 637. You can find all of those audio and video on our website, meistercon.com. So definitely check us out there as well. Thank you guys so much. Until next time. Bye, everybody. Hi, everybody. I'm once again here to ask for your support. It's been a big year for the Too Opinionated podcast. Back in February, we got to live out a dream, moderate for William Shatner here in our hometown. In May, we passed 100,000 downloads on our YouTube channel, and we followed that up in June with 50,000 downloads on the audio side. We recently posted our 600th episode, which is pretty good volume for just a father and son operation. You know, not too many podcasts can keep that volume up. We've been doing this now for 4.5 years, 600 plus episodes. We recently hit 1,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel, which is a really big deal for us because we've always gotten the views, but have struggled to get people to subscribe. So that 1,000 was a big deal for us. And best of all, we were recently named one of the top podcasts on IMDb, which is the entertainment database. You know, those that are ahead of us, we came in at number 82. Those that are ahead of us are bigger companies like Disney, mostly Marvel, and Joe Rogan, that type of podcast. So for us, being just a small West Virginia father and son podcast, to be in the top 100 out of 15 million, it's a pretty big deal for us. So thank you for everything you've done for us so far. Got a couple little ways, though, that you can help us, and they're free, and they're really easy. If you haven't checked out our YouTube channel yet, please go to YouTube. It's under MeisterCon Pod. Just hit subscribe. It's free. Doesn't cost you anything. Really helps us a ton. And maybe even more important, if you could go to IMDb, imdb.com, look up the Too Opinionated podcast, and just look around the page. Just having that traffic on the page really helps us out. So that's a couple easy ways that you can support us, even if you're not listening or watching all of the time. And we want you to listen and watch, because I think that our guest list, I would put up against anybody, any other show, podcast, anybody out there. I think our guest list holds up. So please check us out. You probably will find somebody that you like, or maybe somebody that you didn't know you liked, but kind of discovered them on there. There's tons of that. If you're into music, we have that too. If you like books, we've got authors on there. If you're more into what goes on behind the scenes in the entertainment world, you know, we've got producers, directors, video artists, anything you can think of that happens behind the scenes, we've had them on the show. So definitely check us out. Thank you guys so much. Until next time. Bye, everybody.